Hey guys and dolls, so this is Keto, starting Keto lesson 3. I didn't want to do this one right off the bat because I don't want people to be so worried about their macros when they're first starting out. But it would be helpful for you to know and understand what we're talking about when we talk about things like carbohydrates and your macros. And a lot of people get confused by that, and it sounds like a scary term, but I promise it's really the simplest thing. It just sounds scary. It's like getting a shot. Oh God, oh, it's not so bad. So yeah, it's not that bad. But I'm going to explain macros in your foods first. Now, macros just mean the three primary things your foods are made up of, which are fat, protein, and carbohydrates. Now this is a bad example of a keto-friendly food, but I'm just going to show you the box. See if I can get it close enough for you to see. Every food shows your total fats, shows your total carbohydrates, and shows your protein. Pretty simple, right? Now again, this is a bad example of a keto-friendly food because in keto you're supposed to have less than 20 grams of carbohydrates a day. This particular food for one serving has 20 carbohydrates all by itself. So like I said, this would be bad. If it was a perfect keto-friendly food, not all foods are perfect, you're not going to find very many, but it would say like 18 grams of fat, 9 grams of protein, and 0 to 2 grams of carbs. So that would be a perfect keto food. Funny how fruit and grain is supposed to be good for you, and they're not. So yeah, you're technically throwing the food pyramid out the window because they've known for a long time that that's bad for you and probably knew when they made it. But, you know, sickness sells. A lot of money to be made in keeping people sick. So anyway, I'm going to show you my personal macros so that you'll get some understanding of what all it means. Now these are the macros that I'm allowed to have in a given day. Your macros will be different vastly than mine depending on your age, your height, your weight, being a male or a female, your activity level. Me, I'm 39 years old. I'm 5'1" and 5'1" and a half. So let's just say 5'1". And I started my journey at 311. Now when I was 311, I could have a whole lot more calories than I can have now. But over time I've had to adjust my macros to show my new weight or my new stats. So I'm going to show you this. This is my personal macros. These are not yours. But this is how it looks. So my calories in a given day for a moderate deficit. Now I could have more than this, but not if I want to lose a good deal of weight. So I set mine in a moderate deficit. It's 1,490. The fat grams I can have a day are 123 grams of fat, 76 grams of protein, and 20 grams of carbs. I don't know what my camera just did. Looks like a stall, but okay. And that's a 75%, 20, 25, 75, 25 ratio. Good Lord, I can't talk. Anyway, I'm going to link a Keto Diet Buddy below. And what this does, it'll ask you your height, your weight, your sex, your, all those good things anyway, your activity level. Oh, it'll ask your body fat percentage too. Most people do not know that. So if you're more than double your weight, you can probably put 50% in there. If you're not, you can go with 40, something like that. And it'll ask you your carbs, so you want to put 20 in there. And if it asks percentages, you put 5, but you don't, I think it asks the grams you want, so it's 20 and or less. Now especially now if you're a man and you have no medical problems, you can probably get by with as many as 50 carbs a day, but most of us here have medical issues, diabetes, morbid obesity, so we need to go with less than 20 grams a day. Now the Keto Diet Buddy will give you 4 different results. The top one is your calories and macros for maintaining the current weight you're at. The second one will give you a small calorie deficit for low weight loss. The third one will give you a moderate calorie deficit, which is what I currently use for a decent set of weight loss. And the fourth one is a large calorie deficit that might be too much for some people. So, you know, judge it, do it yourself, and figure it out. Now you want to track your food. And by tracking your food, I mean you write down how many calories was in that food that you ate, and how many servings. If you eat 3 servings of it, make sure you triple your calories. But anyway, you write down your calories, you write down how much fat was in, how much you ate, how much protein was in, how much you eat, and how many carbohydrates were in, how much you eat. So that is your macros pretty well explained. And you can write this down in a notebook. You can keep an app like MyFittnessPal, which is what I personally use. It is free. You can pay for the service, but you don't have to. I use both the app and the website. I'm not very friendly with my phone. I don't really understand the whole app thing very well, so I use the website too. And to help me remember to track, because a lot of people forget, and I was most certainly one of those, my MyFittnessPal is on the very first screen of my phone. I can't miss it. It's always there. It's always up on my laptop. The page is always loaded. It's always there. In fact, when I have to restart my computer for some reason, the minute I hit my Google, I have it set to where 3 pages come up: MyFittnessPal, Facebook, and YouTube, because those are the pages I use the most. So, yeah, that's your macros. And it's not as hard as it sounds. It just seems kind of hard. But if you need help with it, please feel free to post below. Send me an email. My email's in the box below, by the way. And if you're curious about more foods you can have on keto, I include my entire food list in every video I do. It's always down in the description. You'll also get my social media links. But down at the bottom of my description box, everything's in there that I eat. Now, what ratios you eat, that depends on your macros in your day. So anyway, I hope that was a simple explanation. I didn't really want to include that yet, but I also want you to know what I'm talking about when I mention some of these terms. So much love to y'all. I'll see you in lesson 4. Bye.